I'm David Shively, and I'm an IT project manager. An IT project manager makes sure to manage IT projects by making sure that all the people are aligned to not only get a project done, but also the people that are involved in the project know what's going on with the project. I worked in the legal department at Hewlett-Packard, so they had to implement a patent management system. The way you have to go about that is you have to not only interview the people that own different types of patent management systems so that you can get what you wanted, but then you bring in the legal team that's part of implementing that. And along the way, you work with them as well as your other IT fellows. You're coordinating with not only developers, but you're going all the way up to the executives to make sure that you get put in place what they need. I started at Hewlett-Packard very early. And one of the things was I came into the company as a temporary employee. It gave me the opportunity to meet people along the way and figure out kind of if there were job openings and where I would fit well. I also worked with engineers at the time, but most of my career was through administrative contracts, dispatch, parts, just different areas in the company. I started talking with a friend of mine. She was a IT manager, and she suggested kind of going into tech, going actually into doing things that were involving tech. So she wanted me to follow around one of her guys during his working day. And I worked that out with my manager. And for a year, I shadowed a guy around and picked up all the things I needed to learn how to actually troubleshoot any problems. I interviewed with the legal department at HP doing front-end desktop support, and sure enough, I got in. And then I stayed there for the second half of my career, which was doing application support and then server support. I started working with the people that were doing project management to move their applications to the data centers, and then I just followed that and learned project management, and then I just kept going from there. A lot of times as an IT project manager, you're running multiple projects at the same time. So you could have a small team doing this, but you could have a larger team doing this, and then somebody else doing other projects for you. You could be having different time zones. To be a successful IT project manager, I think, is to be adaptable. You have to basically adapt to any situation that comes up. And you also have to sometimes have an executive come up to you and change exactly what you're doing on a project. It could be money, it could be time, there could be any kind of reasons, but you have to adapt to whatever the change is going to be at any given minute. The biggest challenge to being an IT project manager is probably people. Dealing with people is something that you really have to have a good handle on. You could go with the other things, which are you have to be good at scheduling, you have to be good at time management, but all in all, if you don't have the people skills to deal with everybody that you have to deal with, then, it becomes a problem. And that's not an easy thing to do because everybody's got different personalities. I never came at it with like a big stick, carrying it around, beating people into submission. I would always sit down and talk with people and find out, what it was that was inhibiting them from getting their work done. And sometimes if you talked with them long enough, you'd find out that there may be an interpersonal thing that was kind of stopping their ability to do what you needed to do. If you could help them resolve that issue, then you'd get the best out of it. I figure that there's like a core set of skills and abilities that a person has to have to communicate. You figure out what kind of relationship that you have with the person that you need to. Some executives, need direct communication where you're talking to them. Others just want a summary. Some want detailed. Everything has to, again, adapt to the people that you're working with. And you also have to have like a good set of not only speaking, but also written communication. I'll be honest, I mean, I started in 1984, so we were booting up our computers with floppy disks, 5.5-inch floppy disks. And all you had was green type on a screen. Watching it change over the amount of time that I had was really great. The way I adapted to the changes was being interested in what was going on, what was changing. I was always able to ask other engineers or other people in other departments what was going on, what was changing, what they were implementing. There was a project that I was working on at one time. There were people that were basically wanting to give me spreadsheets, and if I added them into my spreadsheet, there could be some underlying issues with combining that data, which could throw my data off. And I started working with a company called Smartsheets. They were able to have people just put their data into that spreadsheet without corrupting your spreadsheet, which then the executives could log on and see in real time what was going on because people were inputting the data. Me learning about that was really just right on the job when it happened. I need something that is more robust, that's not going to screw up my information, and that's going to give the executives the data they wanted. In my free time, I'm an actor, and I did that as a bucket list item where I went out for a open casting call and got in and found that I really liked it. So during the weekends, I was able to do different acting jobs in different rather large productions. I also hike and I swim and I bake, which is bad, but it's good. I had a lot of problems learning when I was growing up. I'm slightly dyslexic, so it makes reading a chore. I think a lot of people thought that I was stupid because I was kind of slower at doing it. It took me the longest time, even being in Hewlett-Packard, to realize, because somebody said, you can't possibly be stupid. You're an IT project manager at Hewlett-Packard. So it really is having faith that, you can do things, that you can grow and find things that make you unique and that you can learn and grow. And I think it was really, honestly, mostly my people skills that really propelled me through being able to do what I could do. And again, that I could adapt and learn to all the situations that I needed to. It allowed me to realize that, honestly, that I hate to say this, but that I wasn't stupid, that I was capable, that I had something to give, something to offer that was, I think, unique, for me, with people, with my ability to adapt and learn and grow, and so I just encourage it, really. So I guess I'd tell my younger self, it's going to be okay. If I were telling somebody what to do to start in technology, it's really kind of to find what they like, but also talk to people. I think one of the biggest advantages I had at Hewlett-Packard was there was always an open door policy. And they always encouraged you, if you were interested in a department, if you wanted to know more, you could come in and you could ask them. I would think that most managers, when you ask them about what they do, they will share and they will see that you have an interest in something. And I can't tell you how many managers I had along the way at HP, but each of them helped me move forward and grow. So talk, have conversations, see what interests you, and head that direction.